I was 22. I had 2 children at the time, so Ellis and Cameron. I remember having Cameron across here and Ellis on my back. So yeah, that was my first introduction into tattoos. I'm quite addictive as well. I sort of enjoyed the pain of it and sort of kept going for a while then. The importance of people I really love that a huge impact on me. I don't know, I see, obviously, I imagine a lot of parents have done similar. It's a weird feeling being a father. I love it the most. It's my favorite part of my life. And it was, I don't know, it just felt right that they were on me and they will always be with me. And that was probably more my psyche going into that. Every tattoo has big meaning to me. I tried to a certain expression of how I was feeling at the time or what I was impacted by during that moment. So that was unfortunately, like a few people have, I've lost friends as well through illness. So one was a real big moment for me as well. Like I had angels down the side, so representing my children, but also the message in there as well. During the time I lost a really close friend of mine. So that was that was part of that at that present moment. Being Welsh is when I look at identity and my identity of what I believe we're always searching for that. Even family tree, you look into that and where did I come from, who did I come from, and because that always really intrigues me as well. It's the 2 most important aspects of what define us are really probably the 2 things we don't really have any control over, of the people we're born into and where we're born. We don't get to choose that. And actually, if you look at it, it really defines who we are. So I always felt very privileged. I had very good parents. I'm beyond proud to be from Wales. And I just felt my journey then of being Welsh, but what does being Welsh mean? What importance is our small country? What's it been through, and what's our history? And the more I researched it, and because I'm quite like that, I have to know. Like if it's a football club I support, I have to know everything about them. Why? And even if you ask me most stuff, it's why. People see that as you being objective and maybe being critical, but it isn't. It's I have to know why. And even if I do any, or if I say anything, there has to be a why towards it. There has to be a reason towards it. So looking into the history of Wales as well, I felt that was important, that identity was with me as well. With the history of our country, the fight of independence, the fight of our identity at a time where it was a big struggle. But I just liked what he stood for and what he believed in, and representing, and having Wales as his own nation. Whether he was, the real rightful King of Wales, that's always up to debate. But I just like he was able to stand up against odds. He was able to fight what he believed in. And I feel we've always had great people from our country. But when it goes back even further, we had someone who was incredible, who has a huge impact on our nation even to this day. This was in loads of stages. It was in a lot of stages. It was I started up top, then it kept getting extended. A lot of pain. Certain areas hurt more than others, and some are completely fine. Anyone who's had tattoos will be able to tell you that their pain threshold for certain. But the actual the time it took was a lot. There'd be sometimes I'd just be like, that's enough today, I've had enough. And there was times like more, let's just keep going, let's get as much done as we can. I felt like a lot of times like nothing was happening, this is going on forever, but then you just start seeing it as well. But yeah, it was a long stage, but it was for me, it was well worth it. It went into different bits because I'm not sure you'd know, like pictures with Owain Glyndwr is very difficult because it was so long ago. So I liked the one with him on his horse, him at battle, and then I created more of the battle that he was in as well. I think it was at Pill. Am I right? You're going to re-correct me? I'm hoping I'm right, because and then that is, so it was just images from scenes that would have been drawn up. Like I said, I doubted they're correctable. Of course they're not, but it was just that, and just trying to recreate as much as we could do towards what, you know, Welsh soldiers at that time would have been, would have looked like, and trying to recreate the battle as much as possible. Never child, so another name. So I'm going to be full of names that'll happen again. So, but I don't know really, if I'm being honest, like, because a lot of it takes time. That will happen, but I don't know if I tend to get even more work done. I don't know. I would say to anyone, once you start, it's very difficult to stop. So don't start. If you don't, like, yeah, just stay away. And I don't know, where before, when I remember being from an era where like tattoos were taboo. It was like, but I believe like they've become more now with fashion. Of course they have. I don't do it for a fashion, and certainly not. But I try to do it to what resembles me, what's important to me. You know, I can be a very different person to what people perceive you to be. I have a lot of empathy. I can be very kind, but also I can be quick-witted. You know, I can definitely hold my own at certain times. So I feel I have a different range of characters, and probably my tattoos as well sort of resemble certain sides of me as well. You know, there's a lot of empathy here. There's a lot of like back against the wall, battle, you against the world. A lot of love in who you find, like the people closest to you. I feel it's important that when my day does come, that I'm taking them with me. There's a part of me that, you know, if it goes into the ground or if it gets burned, I haven't quite decided yet, and it seems a bit strange me talking to detail about that much, that they're going to be me to the last second. So there's you know, these type of, I feel I've been able to translate a lot of who I am with the work that's been done on my body.